Zootopia 2 Explained.
Welcome to the bonus booth, where today we're not solving anything, chasing anything, or explaining anything. We are doing the most dangerous YouTube activity of all. Hearing a cartoon voice and yelling, "Wait, I know that person."
Exactly. This is the cast and creators lap around Zootopia 2. Returning voices people clock instantly, plus new voices where your brain takes 3 seconds to load the file.
Start with Jennifer Goodwin as Judy Hopps, because she has one of those voices that sounds bright without getting sugary. What I love is that she has talked about re-entering Judy by living with the first movie at home. Her kids watched it for years, and she said it became this rare project where they loved it before fully registering, "Oh, that's Mom."
That is such a sweet actor problem. The movie became household research. And Goodwin has said the filmmakers did not want a big fake cartoon voice. They wanted presence, which is why Judy sounds emotionally direct instead of rabbit voice.
Then Jason Bateman as Nick Wilde is the other half of that sonic handshake. Bateman's whole thing is microscopic dryness. He can make half a pause sound like a full paragraph. In interviews, he has described the booth pretty plainly. Script on an iPad, microphone in front of him, just acting as if the other performer is there.
And that is where animation casting gets sneaky. You are hearing Bateman trust the animators to handle the tail, eyebrows, posture, whatever Fox business is happening. He brings the temperature, relaxed, amused, never pushing too hard.
Fox Business is now the name of my tax folder.
Please do not let Nick Wilde near your taxes.
Fair. Now, Ke Huy Quan as Gary is the new voice that feels like the animators were handed a little battery pack of warmth. The behind-the-scenes story I love. Quan saw an early test where Disney had animated Gary over footage from one of Quan's talk show appearances. He watched it on Jared Bush's phone and immediately understood the character's body language.
After that, he mostly had to use his imagination. There was a poster behind him in the booth, not a finished performance playing back. The team built specialized tools for Gary's movement, but the spark still starts with Quan sounding open, eager, and present.
Fortune Feimster as Nibbles is also just incredibly good casting on paper. You have a character connected to podcast energy, and you cast a stand-up who literally co-hosts a comedy podcast. Fortune has that gift where a sentence can enter the room wearing muddy boots and still somehow be charming.
She has that confessional rhythm, friendly, sideways, never too polished. Big oddball energy can become noise fast, but Feimster's voice has a human grin in it.
Idris Elba coming back as Chief Bogo is the opposite register. Granite with comic timing. He is one of those actors whose voice already has architecture. You hear him, and the room gets a ceiling.
And he still had room to toss in chaos. Jared Bush shared publicly that one of Bogo's dry insults came from Elba improvising in the booth, and the team kept it because it landed immediately.
Quinta Brunson as Dr. Fuzzby is another satisfying match. Brunson's comedy is precise, but it does not feel mechanical. She can play upbeat and deeply observant at the same time, which is exactly the pocket you want for a tiny therapy animal with giant glasses.
She comes from writing and producing her own comedy, so she knows how to make a small line carry a whole attitude. It is tiny, organized, professional chaos.
We should give Shakira a quick Gazelle nod too, because some voices do not need a detective board. That is Shakira. She returns with the built-in pop star identity, and it remains one of Disney's cleanest, yes, obviously, castings.
Right. Character, pop star. Performer, Shakira. Meeting adjourned. Sometimes casting is a puzzle. Sometimes casting is a doorbell.
On the creator side, Jared Bush is the central pen here. Director and writer, and now one of the key creative leaders at Walt Disney Animation Studios. What I like about the public production notes is how much they emphasize the writing process as collaborative, with story artists brought into recording and editing sessions.
That detail is huge. The screenplay is not living in a sealed jar. The artists drawing, revising, and shaping performances are close to the booth energy. Bush also encouraged looser story jam sessions, basically letting smart people around a table let weird ideas breathe.
Byron Howard, co-director, is the other major hand on the wheel. He has been deep in this world from the beginning, returning as co-director after helping launch Zootopia in 2016.
Howard gives great studio color anecdotes. He mentioned an early bunny hospital idea from Bush that got cut, and described production as this humming place with animators, layout artists, lighters, and music moving at once. The voice cast is visible, but the movie is hundreds of craftspeople.
Which brings us to Yvett Merino, the producer, whose job is basically making that giant machine function without flattening the fun out of it. She has talked about the scale of the team and how much work goes into every frame. I always like when producers frame success as, people are seeing the artist's work.
My favorite Merino detail is the treat trolley. During crunch time, the support team brought treats through the studio, bell and all. On a movie this complicated, morale is infrastructure with cookies.
Put that on a call sheet. Infrastructure with cookies.
Truly. And it fits this cast. Goodwin's sincerity, Bateman's dryness, Quan's warmth, Feimster's oddball welcome, Elba's rumble, Brunson's adorable sharpness.
That is the joy of an animated ensemble. You are not just recognizing names. You are hearing choices, breath, timing, restraint, warmth, the confidence to let a tiny line stay tiny.
Next time you watch, try the no phone challenge. Listen for the booth work. Then imagine animators turning those human details into ears, paws, hooves, scales, and side-eye.
Around the cast and creators, case closed. No charts, just voices, artists, and one very important production lesson.
If the treat trolley bell rings, follow it.